Welcome back everybody to Ball na Ball, Kenya Premier League Weekly Review. And today, oh man, have we got a good one for you. We are diving deep into one of the biggest clashes on the calendar, the Battle of the Armed Forces with Ulinzi Stars versus Kenya Police FC. So let's set the scene, right? It's February 15th, 2026 at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. And listen, this wasn't just any old match. This was the Security Forces Derby, a game absolutely packed with pride, bragging rights, and some seriously crucial league points. You could just feel the electricity in the air. This table right here tells you everything you need to know about the stakes before a ball was even kicked. You've got Kenya Police sitting pretty in 5th, looking like they are really pushing for the top. But then on the other side, you have the soldiers, Ulinzi Stars, kind of stuck down in 15th and desperate to pull away from that relegation scrap. So two teams under pressure for completely different reasons. Alright, so the whistle blows and the battle is on. And right from the jump, you could see one team was really looking to take charge of this thing. Let's get into how that first half played out. You know, this is what the first 45 minutes was all about. Kenya Police, the law enforcers, they just owned the ball. They were setting the pace, controlling the tempo, and just patiently asking questions of that disciplined Ulinzi defense over and over again. Now you gotta give Ulinzi credit, they were hanging on for most of that half, but as we got closer to the break, all that pressure from the visitors, it finally paid off. The moment the police fans were hoping for was just around the corner, and then boom, it happens. The commentary just nails it, doesn't it? Edward Omondi smashes it home to finally break that deadlock. You can just feel the pure passion in that quote. That's a player who's on fire, scoring a massive goal for his side. And so that's how we went into the half, 1-0 to Kenya Police, all thanks to that man, Edward Omondi. The visitors were firmly in the driver's seat and honestly looking pretty comfortable on their way to a huge away win. But hey, this is a derby, right? And it is never, ever over till it's over. And whatever was said in that Ulinzi dressing room at halftime, it worked because they came out for the second half looking like a completely different team. Wow, did they ever come out firing? The soldiers just ramped up the intensity, turning it into a real physical battle. They were fighting tooth and nail for every ball, refusing to get pushed around on their own turf. You could literally feel the momentum of the game start to shift. Then you get a moment of just pure brilliance from Ulinzi. Talena Ochieng. It was a sensational finish, and the Swahili commentary captured it perfectly. Si nguvu, alitumia akili, basically saying it wasn't about power, it was all brains, just a clever, intelligent piece of football. And just like that, we are all tied up at 1-1. Talena Ochieng with a piece of magic that means those bragging rights are getting split right down the middle. The whole place just went wild. It was game on for real. So, with the scores all level, that last part of the game was just tense. You could feel it. Both teams were pushing, trying to find that winning goal. But in the end, this derby was going to finish in a way that's become, well, pretty familiar. And when that final whistle blew, it meant another draw. Which brings us to this absolutely wild stat. This 1-1 result was the 7th time in their last 9 league games that these two couldn't be separated. It's almost the default setting for this derby, which just goes to show you how evenly matched these two rivals really are. Okay, so a point each. What did that actually do for them in the standings? Well, for Ulinzi Stars, it was a good point. It helped them hop up 1 spot to 14th, which is a small but really important step away from the danger zone. For Kenya Police though, it was a different story, and here's the kicker. For Kenya Police, even though they didn't lose, they actually dropped from 5th down to 6th. And you may be asking why? Well, it's because other results didn't go their way, specifically Muranga Seal getting a win and jumping right over them. Gotta be frustrating after being in the lead. So, a point apiece, a familiar story, but now we gotta ask, what's next? What does this result mean for both of these clubs as they look down the road at the rest of the season? Alright, let's take a quick peek at what's coming up for Ulinzi. Oh boy, they've got some tough home games against Kakamega Homeboys and then the Giants Gor Mahia. No easy days there. And for Police, they're on the road to Sofapaka before coming home to face APS Bomet. The challenges just keep on coming. So when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, here's the deal. For Ulinzi, it's all about making their home ground a fortress, especially when the big boys like Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards come to town. Their survival could depend on it. And for police, their ambitions of finishing in the top 5 are going to face a massive test with a brutal April schedule against Tusker and their rivals AFC Leopards. What's your take, fan? Leave a comment below. Let's keep the ball rolling. I'm your host, Paul Lashope. See you in the next one.